Star Wars is a franchise chock full of items, words, and symbols that have become deeply ingrained in the cultural mindshare. But arguably the most entrenched concept is the Jedi and their signature weapon, the lightsaber. Whom among us did not grow up thinking about swinging a lightsaber around, becoming a Jedi, taking down stormtroopers or droids depending on your era, and being a hero of the galaxy? Spinning a plastic telescoping lightsaber in our basements while Rise Against looped on the speakers because we just finished the newest book in the Legacy of the that one's too specific. Okay, well, that's okay. The urge to be a Jedi is time-worn, and we'd seen from A New Hope how Obi-Wan himself trained Luke to be one using a remote droid. But remote droid training was just a figment of imaginations everywhere until 1983. Welcome to Holocron Hoard, a channel with a simple mission: to play every Star Wars game ever made and find the best one. Today, we'll be looking at Star Wars Jedi Arena, the Jedi training simulator for the Atari 2600. We're going to talk about its history, the gameplay itself. We're not going to talk about the story because it doesn't have one. And most importantly, is it good? Is it still fun? If you like this video or the concept for the channel, like, subscribe, leave a comment. You can write whatever you want down there. You can write papaya for all I care. Engagement is truly the best way you can help my new channel grow. Now let's get going. This is probably going to be the fastest video yet. On the back of the Empire Strikes Back game for the Atari 2600, link on screen for my review of that, Parker Brothers decided to make another Star Wars game. This game would come to be the first Star Wars PvP game based entirely on the remote droid training section from A New Hope, and the first lightsaber video game. Two lofty titles to hold. The game features a top-down view and two sides of the arena, red and blue. You utilize the joystick on the Atari 2600 to move your lightsaber left and right, which will absorb any shots from your remote training droid. The movement of the joystick is also what controls where your blasts from the remote training droid are going to go, allowing you to aim these shots. The light-colored rectangles on the screen are what you're trying to hit, but to get there, you need to break the blocks in front that are blocking the path to said rectangle. You go back and forth trying to hit the other person's light rectangle to score a point, at which point everything resets, score 3 points, you win the game. The Atari 2600 has a few key buttons on it you have to be aware of. It's got a power switch, it's got a black and white or color switch for your TV, as well as the joystick and the main firing button. It also has a difficulty switch for each player. In Jedi Arena, the difficulty switch toggles you between having 3 or 4 lines of protection in what the manual calls your force field. There are also game select and game reset switches. Reset does what you think, but game set is how you determine what mode you're playing in the game. It adjusts the value from 1 to 8, with odd numbers being single player and evens being multiplayer. 1, 3, and 5 adjust the level of speed on the seeker between slow, medium, and fast respectively, while 7 sets the speed to medium but makes the seeker invisible. Even numbers do the same, but on even increments for multiplayer games. As you play and shoot, the remote droid, which is what the seeker is, I didn't say that, but that's it, kind of builds up energy until it overloads and goes into wacky mode, forcing both players to go on defense for a bit. The game is designed to be you flipping between going on offense and defense periodically as much as you can, and I honestly bet it was fun at the time to play against your friends. I did not play it against my friends. I played it single player, and I played it on all difficulties for full coverage. Here's the weirdest part of this game to me, and I'll admit, I don't know if it's supposed to happen. Playing single player, after you score a point, you swap sides, so you're now controlling the top. When you do this, the controls reverse themselves, meaning you gotta flip your joystick around the other way for the movements to make sense, or else you've gotta mentally know that left is right and right is left. Really, really weird behavior for the game. Doesn't feel necessary. Maybe it's an old programming thing. I don't really know. Visually, the game makes good use of the simplistic graphics that the Atari 2600 was capable of. In terms of sound design, it's okay. It's a little loud for my tastes. I don't love the storm noise as the seeker droid goes into wild mode. And difficulty-wise, the game is honestly pretty easy. Even on its fastest difficulty, the computer never really feels harder to beat. It just might take longer because you're aiming worse. As I played through this game, I found myself thinking that this game was probably really truly meant to be played with 2 people. As a single-player game, it's a really tough sell. But I can see the world where you're having some fun playing this for a little bit with your friend in your basement before you swap in a different cartridge. There actually isn't much more to talk about with this game. Unless... Okay, there's no story here, but here's my pitch. It'd be really funny to canonize weird remote droid fights between Jedi Padawans. Put it in like the High Republic or something where there were lots of Padawans, or whatever's gonna happen with the new Jedi Order in canon now. I don't know, it would just be really funny. When I play Star Wars Jedi Arena, if I really squint, I can see shades of the fun that was probably present with this game in 1983. There's honestly a world where today, as a 30-something-year-old man, if you put a few drinks in me and plop me and a friend down in front of the Atari, I'm gonna go hard on beating them and becoming the Jedi Master. But it's a silly world, and in 2025, the game just doesn't have a ton to offer anymore. The controls feel a little wonky. I still don't feel like I fully understand the angle I need to put my joystick at to aim the shots exactly where I want them. And for your money, you can find many other PvP or lightsaber experiences to satiate your appetite. Even for retro game lovers, I just think your time is better spent elsewhere. When I consider it against all the other games on this list, given all that context, it sadly falls to the bottom, dethroning Flight of the Falcon as the worst Star Wars game I've played so far. It's got the most limited experience to be had, and while it may have some nostalgia for some people, that's kind of all it has. It's not like Star Wars Arcade or Empire Strikes Back, where I feel like you can still play those today and get some true enjoyment out of them. Not that this doesn't have enjoyment, it's just there's not a lot of juice to squeeze. That's 3 Atari games down and a 4th on the way next week. There are 10 games from the 80s total, and at this point, based on feedback, I've decided I'm going to do them all real fast and get them out of the way. Or rather, I decided that 2 weeks ago when I wasn't on vacation like I am when this video comes out. Either way, I'm excited to move on to an Atari game that has a little more going on, a little bit better mouthfeel, and a lot more Millennium Falcon. But that's a video for another time. For now, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.